Well, welcome to today's episode of the podcast. I am thrilled today to have Dr. Ben Garber with us. Dr. Garber, I think, works mostly out of New Hampshire, but has a massive presence. And I'm so grateful that you agreed to join the podcast today. So welcome.
Thanks, Krista. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, and I am just really honored because I want to share with everyone, first of all, that Dr. Garber, we have a fixed topic today that we're really going to talk about, which is really something that everybody who's working in the divorce family law landscape and parents going through particular parents that are going through these situations should go check out. And that is called DefuseDivorce, like defusing a bomb, DEFUSE divorce. And it's I'm looking around my camera, .com. So we're going to talk about that. But I first want to just share that I've been doing, as I've been preparing for this, some research on Dr. Garber's scope of work. And I'm going to hold up my big stack of my investment in his books for those watching on video. This is, I think, 8 of 10 of them. I'm going to link to these in the website and in future and on my show notes, but I want to just point some of them out. The newest one is called, well, I don't know if this is newest. Is it newest, The Holding Tight, Letting Go?
No, the newest is the novel that you have there.
This one. Okay, so there's a novel, Twisted Allies, which is, you said your attempt at fiction in this area, right?
Yes, maybe I could say for your listeners, I do indeed live and work in New Hampshire. I'm a New Hampshire licensed psychologist. For better or worse, call me crazy, I spend all of my time involved in family court matters, working in the best interest of children. So the books that you're holding and the conversation that we might have in a moment, including the novel called Twisted Allies, it's all about understanding how kids manage and adapt to and are sometimes grievously injured by what adults do to each other while they pull their kids in the middle of their conflicts. This family is having problems. The problem isn't a matter of diagnosis within an individual. It's a matter of dynamics, which are patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behavior that occur between people. Once you start looking at dynamics and relationships and conflicting families, people beat down your door for services because everybody else sanely and wisely runs away scared from that stuff. Working with high conflict families puts you in the direct line of fire. These are very litigious people armed with lawyers and motions and bureaus of trials who say that they are focused on their kids. Often they genuinely are, but who are simultaneously eager to prove that they're right and the other parent is wrong. And how dare you take the other parent's side?
Mm-hmm.
No matter how it seems, I'm involved in family litigation constantly. I'm surrounded by it here in my office. No matter how it seems, I never take mom or dad's or the other parent's side. No matter who hires me, no matter where I work, and I work all around the world, I work for kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do too. And that's why, I mean, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate how hard it is. I find it really interesting how people landed in this area because it's just always such a meandering path for each of us into this landscape. And yet it's refreshing to find so many kindred spirits who are genuinely trying to do better for kids. And what parent doesn't want to do better for kids? So, right. I mean, most parents, they might not know how to do it, but at least they can get behind the fact that doing better for kids is important, and that they want their kids to flourish at least.
I suppose. What I've learned as this gap came to my attention in the last year or so, is that other fields recognized this more than 50 years ago. And for those 50 years have been not only providing what we'll call advanced orientation, not advanced. We're not talking about some higher level of learning. We're talking about advanced as in preliminary to orientation. And these other fields have engaged in rigorous and impressive research that has shown us that when a consumer of a service, this is sort of my elevator pitch right here.
Mhm.
When the consumer of a service has the opportunity to engage in advanced orientation, the consumer is more likely to be satisfied with the service, and the service is likely to be more efficient and more effective. That's astonishing because research and actual practice in nursing, in medicine, in dentistry, in public health, in genetic screening, and in a host of other related fields shows convincingly that 30 to 60 minutes of advanced orientation can do things like decrease number of days in the hospital post-surgery, decrease surgical patients' need for narcotic medication and the risk of opioid addiction, decrease anxiety on the part of pediatric dental patients who have to undergo pediatric procedures so that the procedure is not only quicker, but less expensive and less painful.
Mm.
Simple, advanced orientation in the form of written information, spoken information, video information, virtual reality or augmented reality information has a huge impact on how the consumers of a service partake in the service and the success of that service. Our family law courts are dramatically overburdened. The cost of getting involved in litigation with or without an attorney, with or without a child custody evaluation, a PRE, CFI, is tremendously high. And the risk of recidivist litigation or revolving door court appearances is tremendously high. The stress of all that wears on everyone, most particularly the children. DefuseDivorce.com, by virtue of providing very inexpensive, very brief, easily accessed online advanced orientation, has the promise of reducing all of that.
How you could encourage parents going through this and or family law attorneys and the bar, people in this field as to how that they can have hope and go through this better.
These days, there's so much other stuff to push past to get to the optimism.
Mm.
My optimism rests in my belief that kids are inherently good and that parenting for all of them, thousands of books and videos and trainers and professionals, including myself out there, we're glad to say, buy this, do that. Here's 12 different flavors of parenting. In the end, parenting isn't hard. It's about obviously food, clothing, shelter, and then constancy. Kids can be okay when they have at least one constant emotional anchor through it all. People who studied children who survived the Holocaust, Michael Runner and Anna Freud, looked at kids who experienced trauma beyond my imagination. The ones who were okay because no matter what happened, they could always go back to mom or dad who simply was there to hold them and reassure them. Fence boards, no iPads, no Wi-Fi, no gimmicks, no gizmos. Constancy, being an anchor. If you and I can get that message out, or more to the point, if the parents of the world would put down their swords and their shields and do just that, our future would be bright.
Well, I love that. And the fact that there are people out doing this work and have devoted so much of their really life's work to improving this. It's like divorce is a reality. It's something that these family breakdowns are going to happen. It's like saying the poor are going to be among us, right? Divorce is going to happen. What do we do with it? How do we approach it? And that's what I'm always trying to encourage. And I feel optimistic that people like you are out there doing this work. And I hope that parents and especially people working in this, there's such a powerful impact of the people working. I had one podcast guest call attorneys, family law attorneys, first responders, take that more seriously so that you're sending people to the right resources. You're setting the tone, you're helping, and that parents could go find this stuff on their own.